All right, so let's move on to the next part. I had to turn on the light because it's just so dark in here right now. But these are books. I think these are going to be really, really important because YouTube is great, but at the same time, YouTube is really cracking down. And with all their censorship, half time you can't even find what you're actually looking for. So I want to go over a couple things that I have and some things I don't have, and then just my opinion on it. But to start it off, um, I'm a hunter, and a lot of these hunting DVDs are really cheap. So here's just a couple examples. Coyotes. If the world totally goes into black, supposedly the canines will be the rulers of the land. And even though no one wants to eat a canine, I think that if I'm hungry enough, I'll definitely chomp on some of the legs. So moving on, I have a whole bunch of hunting books. If you absolutely have grid down, this is a trap book that was written in the 1800s for primitive traps. I think the guy even went back to UK or something after, but this will give you a basic idea, but it is a bit complex. My first trapping that I ever read was the Modern Trapline Method and Materials. It was during the height of the fur trade, I think back in the 60s, maybe early 70s. One thing though, this got me into trapping and hunting. However, there's a lot of opinion pieces, and that's why I suggest obviously get as much on YouTube, but having DVDs to go after. So, Chris, if you ever watch this, thank you for suggesting a bunch of DVDs because every book's going to be slated for some opinion. Coyote hunting. This is really good, along with the Black Book. They give a lot of details on where and how to call and things like that. So, yeah, those are really, really important. Moving forward, I have an aquaponics. In the desert, I don't think this is, unless you're growing marijuana or something, maybe it's good, but for me, I was more interested in getting fish and actually having the fish and then eating the fish as I go while creating a little sustainable farm off of like solar or wind power. Apologize, wife's in there cleaning up the kid, but tanning. I hate tanning, but at least I know how to do it. So these are some really good books with examples you can have in there. You can also pick up, ladies to the side here, old manuals. Had a guy try telling me that these can only be set on ice for body grips and stuff. That is completely not true. I mean, there is some liability with people's pets and things, but things like this can give you a bigger overview of how you can use your traps and where to set them. Mr. Bowler, if you ever come across my video, his book, he's in the UK, and he's very limited on the legalities of how he can trap, where he can trap, and all that stuff. And a lot of his things are based on this book. So he takes primitive traps and sets them up for people to really use. I like your book, Mr. Bowler, but I will say it is a bit short, and I would like more information. I think that you're on the right path. I just would like to see more of your stuff. So, anyways, go check him out. Great guy. He even has his own YouTube channel, Malcolm Bowler. Bobcat. I'm not going to go into that, but it's a great book for bobcat trapping. Getting cookbooks. Let's go over here. Where is my canning book? There it is. So we have a cookbook. Most people, when I was growing up, their mom had a cookbook, but nowadays I don't think they do. So getting a couple cookbooks would be good. Canning. I picked this one up recently. When I was younger, I lived in Tornado Valley. Everything would get hit. My grandma would always have cans in the cellar. I didn't really understand why, but now, it kind of makes more sense with that. So, another book which is kind of, I'd say, becoming more popular in the modern era. This is more about the men's movement, but I would call this somewhat like a motivational or Klansman book, teaching you how to associate with people with common goals and interests. So this is one of those books I really couldn't put down, especially for the men's rights movement that's going on. But yeah, I would definitely look into his series. As I mentioned before, even though I wish I was like some kind of tactical operator fighter guy, I'm not. I really don't have any experience. And so my brother, who has tried being a Navy SEAL, he's gone through BUDS twice, got broken during the process, and he's trained the FBI and shooting and things. It's like, hey man, how can I learn just to do the basic shooting and stuff like this? Black eyes, black rifles. It just goes over the basic ideology and methods for guns and some tactics you can use. The same book, Kyle E. Lamb, for Staying in the Fight, is really good. I haven't picked that one up yet, but my brother's walked me through a little bit. So, if you're one of those tactical guys, I would pick up this kind of book. Kind of going hand to hand with it, there's a whole bunch of these out here. Just search which ones you think would work for you. But I would pick up a few different survival books. This one, the SAS Survival Handbook, is highly recommended. It goes over a lot of information, a lot of high detail. So, these are basically bushcraft books, but I would definitely pick up the SAS and Survival Handbook. Really good book. The next one that we all need to focus on, which is funny because I actually have a gym in my garage, and not a typical weight gym, but a parkour gym. But anyways, I have the P90X DVDs and series, but these manuals, some of it's fluff, but if you can actually use the nutrition manual and then the regular manuals, you're gonna have to get in shape. If you're packing a keg on your belly and you're out trying to hike 15-20 miles, you're gonna have a bad time. I'm gonna skip that book because I haven't used it. Yeah, let's go with these two. So this is my motorcycle manual. You need to pick up. So I haven't really talked about this before, but this motorcycle will actually run without a battery. I have another Yamaha, an old 70s Yamaha, that will do the same. And this is an enduro. So having a manual if something breaks, especially for those of us that are not so mechanically inclined, at some point, you're going to have to learn to fix your stuff. Just to save the money and everything. So that, always have a manual of your vehicles. This one, can't remember who suggested this to me. Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace. Whether you're into the touch of God and the Word of God, that's on you. I'm not going to push you, but it's definitely written by a Christian writer, and it tells you how to deal with finances. And I think a lot of people are still hurting from 08, 09. So getting your finances in check is super, super important. And this book will go, open it up. This book will go over like finances and things. Another one that I don't know where I put it at, but Rich Dad Poor Dad, really, really good. Really, really good. Last one I want to finish off with. I don't read books for fiction. I never really was a reader until I got into like my mid-30s. But that's just recently, by the way. But this Stonemark series for modern peppering and stuff, it's based around the area I grew up in, which would be Missouri. I'm really liking this. It's fiction, and I guess I have my whole DVD collection right above this. I think you're going to need some kind of entertainment, but it'll also give you some good ideas. So anyways, I would suggest reading this. Stephen S. Smith. The intro is kind of funny, but it goes off in an EMP and people that had already prepared, like a family, and the encounters that they go through. But I would pick that up. So anyways, this is becoming a little bit longer of a video, but books and manuals, I would go to the thrift store. No one really reads anymore, and you can find this stuff. Like some of these books I pick up for like literally $1. You know, I know for sure that tactical rifle book, I think it's normally like $30 or something. I got for like, I want to say $7 or $10. So hit up your thrift stores, if anything, thrift.com while you still can. Um, so it's becoming drawn out. If you guys have any ideas or thoughts, comment below. I'm a big supporter of books, even though I used to absolutely hate them. Anyways, check you out later. Thanks. Bye.